150, 150, tactical off-road racing.
Right. We're just looking down at the mudslingers who've just finished a lap. I'm not entirely sure at the moment about checking the timings, what lap they're on, but they're going straight back out. But we do actually have a 150 finisher on their way in, which is car number 7, driver Jim Bubb. And we are basically waiting for them. We should be able to catch them in a minute. We've just seen them at the top of the hill, but we're just watching some other cars at the moment make their way up to the finish. It's very difficult to tell car numbers at the moment due to the amount of mud, bits of tree that we can see on the cars. Sorry about the audio. It is incredibly windy up here at the moment. So if I'm not mistaken, I think that is the Kirkby Signs car that's coming through now. Yes, that is the Kirkby Signs car. They've been doing some really good work this weekend. They have obviously so that's interesting. They haven't gone to their punches. So it looks like they are literally just going for the distance. So there you are, you can see them up on the start line waiting to do yet another lap. We'll try and get a look at the live timings to see. And just looking at the timing, they've just done a 30-minute lap. And here we get Jim Bubb coming in. So he's just a couple of minutes away from the finish here. So I think he's the second over the line. I think we've had Mark Dean also already back in the pits finish. Now these guys are part of the elite group. They can do the 200 because they're already 150 finishers. So Mark Dean will be going back out to try and do the 200k course. So we're a few minutes away from having a 150 finisher here. So again, this is just provisional. We've got probably penalties and stuff still need to be applied. So it could change, but this is basically physical. Second place for the 150 today. So these guys have obviously put in a sterling effort. They've been running really slick, really clean laps. And that's them done the 150. So we'll see if we can get down there and see what they're going to do. So they've just done a 36-minute lap, which is really good. I did see Jim Marsden go through a minute ago. He's a couple of laps still down. I think he's on his 13th lap. And he was doing a 24-minute lap a minute ago. So these guys have also got punches as well. So we did see earlier that we saw a car that was just going through and they did not stop here. So therefore they probably just blasted through just trying to get the distance. So punches, obviously you get a penalty for not doing a punch. So you get a time penalty, so that get added on. So your lap times, all the quickest is the fastest. And obviously that makes a difference. But if you get penalties added on, that's why we're saying this is literally physical at the moment until all of that gets added.
Yeah. So it's basically 2 hours. By the time we filled up with fuel, it's 2 hours. Or even 4 laps. We'll decide.
You never say never. It's drying out. Never say never.
So how are you guys getting on?
That would be
So you reckon you won't do the 5?
25-minute lap. We haven't done a 25-minute lap yet.
He's talking in my ears, I can't hear you.
That's all right, no worries. So you're saying you have to do 25-minute lap to actually do the 5?
Do the 200
To do the 5 left to get you to 200.
We haven't done a sub 30 yet.
We were close just then.
Close.
You were a 36 just then.
We need fuel as well.
Let's go and do. We don't have to have fuel. Let's go and do one now. See if we can do one with no punches and see how quickly we can do it, and then that will decide.
Good luck, guys. Well done. Good luck. So real quick. So that's the decision these guys have got to make. They could just go out. They could just go back into the pits now and relax. They've done the 150. They've put in a good time, and then obviously it's all got to come out in the wash in terms of penalties and stuff like that. Or do they push for the 200? So I think they're going to go out and see how quickly they can now do a lap. So they've been picking up the punches. The punches, obviously, if you don't hit a punch, then that's a time added onto your time. So now they're literally just going for the distance. So I think that was their strategy now. Yeah, so, it's going to be close if they can try and get that distance. I mean, what would your strategy be? And here we have another finisher. I'm not sure which lap this car is on, nor can I see a car number.
You are all live.
So do we have Ryan Jenkins coming in? So he'll be our physical third. Yep, so we have another 150 finisher.
I've not done too bad. Yeah.
Let's see if we can find out how it went for them. I do believe that these guys, this would be their first time they've hit the 150. So that was a 31-minute lap.
Funny thing is, those things
really good.
Yeah.
Well, guys, 150. Congratulations. So I'm right in saying that they have not done a 150 before, have they? So they're not on the elite. Right, so yeah, just double checking there with the marshals down here. They have now completed for the day. They cannot go on and do the 200 because to be in that club, you had to have done a 150 before and hit that mileage. Yeah, I mean, not taking it away from anybody, 150 this event is difficult. I mean, you can see a lot of the cars absolutely covered in mud. I mean, they've been putting in some really good lap times. Obviously, picking up punches because they handed in a punch card. I mean, that was almost a 30-minute lap that was put in there, and they could have just cruised it because it was their last lap. Eased off. Every second counts, really, at the end of the day. So it looks like, just to recap, on the 150 finishes, we've got Mark Dean, physical first on the 150 at the moment. Obviously, remember this could change on corrections and penalties. And that's car 38.
Yeah.
And then I think we have a few cars also on their last lap. So so that was second place car 7 that we saw come through. That's Jim Bubb there in car 7 that we saw come through. And we saw Ryan Jenkins third. I can't remember his car number for this event. Yeah, so the third we just saw come through, that was car 30. I think his car is 30. That's Ryan's car. And we have the next car that I think we have, which would be fourth on the 150. That would be car. Just trying to work that out. Looking. Yep. So we got Will Webster as well. We just saw go out. Who else have we got now on? So yeah, car 25, Scallon and Houlihan, the Irish guys. So they're basically on, I think, their 10th lap at the moment. Yeah, and obviously lots of people are still doing those punches, so maybe a slightly slower lap, but then you don't get the penalties. So we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we only have 7 cars that are capable of doing the full 200, having done a 150 before. Of course, in that is Jim Marsden's car as well. So we saw him going out. Let's see if we can see what lap he is on. So he looks like he is out on his 13th lap. So penultimate lap for Jim Marsden on the 150 mileage. And we've got a couple more cars coming down to the finish. See if we can see who would be the next person we're expecting on the 150. So yeah, car 30, Bennett and Davies, they're potentially our next 150 finisher. I am literally just looking at the live timings, same as you guys can look at the website. So we'll put that on the screen, but it's basically thewelsh.rallies.info. So yeah, that gives you all the lap times, but then at the very bottom, you've got 7 people who have a 2 in front of their car number, and those are the people who've now started doing laps for their 200 k mileage. Which I think everybody is saying is the elite. I don't know whether it's called the 200 or the elite. So a lot of action up on the hill there.
Yeah, I think I've heard car 27 is actually fit.
Right, we have a car coming down into our area now. Hard to tell from this distance the number. I think it's car 14, Dicky and Halliday. I think, because their car is white and there aren't many white cars out here. So James, whereabouts are you flying?
South over the other side of the arena here. Come in and do a batch change. We'll be following in
Is that a white car? I think that is car 14 that we can see on the drone. So we've had some comments about car 45, the Mudslingers. They've done 8 laps and they've got, I think, 4 to go. 6 to go. I can't do the math. Yeah, a lot of support for the Mudslingers there. So I do believe this is car 14 that we can see coming up here. I could be wrong from this distance, but I think so. Their car is white. I think that is car 14. Yep, so we've got a photographer out there taking some shots across the finish line. You'll be able to pick up all those pictures. They'll be put on the Facebook page once they're all edited and sorted. Guys do a great job. Yeah, so this is car 14 that we can see here. These guys always give it a good thumbs up to us. So we got some car maintenance going on. People trying to fix their car on one of the mobile cameras. Loads of oil. Yeah, I think they've done their diff or sump or something. So I can't see what car that is, but they are putting a lot of oil out on the track, so potentially just hit something on a rock. And it looks like we have Jim coming in, I think, to the finishing sections here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure car 30 is the next finisher, like I said earlier, that we're waiting on. So Jim, I think, is now on his penultimate lap, I think. So I think he will be going on to his last lap in a moment to hit that 150 mileage, and then he can crack on and try and get that 200 mileage. So here comes Jim. Quite a distinctive whine from that car. So that's car 51, just crossing the line there. So car 51 still putting in some good laps. So they just did an hour. I didn't manage to see Jim's time, but I did see a lap before, I think he did a sub half an hour lap, so it's like a 24-minute lap. That's car 23 coming in as well. So they did an hour and 17. So these guys here are very close to getting the 150. Again, I think they're on their penultimate lap. So these guys are also in that elite 200. So they can go for that. Doubtful whether they're going to reach that mileage now, unfortunately, I think. So that's Will Webster, car 23, just going up there to start another lap. So I'll have a look again. I think we're coming up to them being on their last lap or penultimate lap. Let's have a quick look at the timings. What seems to have happened, guys?
Smashed the sump.
Was it on those last rocks?
On the last rock, yeah.
Yeah, I saw a lot of oil coming out.
Second time now.
Second time on those rocks?
Yeah, we're done. Not on them rocks, on some different ones.
All right.
Yeah, we're done now. What? You what? Yeah. Not that bad, really, is it?
Yeah, so I think that was Webster going out on his last lap to hit that 150 time. So car 45, 8 laps, 6 to go today. They've been putting in some sterling work. Get a lot of asks about the car 45, the mudslingers. Right, so so that there is Mark Dean, who has already, so he was our physical first on the 150. And yes, he is going for the 200 now. So he's done his 150 distance and is going for 200. So I'll check the live timing in a minute, see what lap he's on. But I think he has 3 to do. So he's probably our best bet of actually hitting that 200k mileage. Definitely the one to watch. So I think, I think they've got 3 laps to do today because there's 5 that they have to do in total. And I think they'd managed to do 2 laps yesterday towards that total. Right, so he's heading around. Okay, yep. So sorry, I thought he might be heading down to the pits, but no, he's just literally going around the car there that we were just talking to that smashed their stump on the rocks a moment ago. So I'm not sure where car 30 is because that would be our physical fourth over the line. We are waiting for him, and then behind them we've got, I think, Jim on his last lap. I'd have to have a look. We've got probably a few cars, I would imagine, coming onto their last lap. I think we have 3 cars currently out on their last lap. So by my reckoning, and I'm just quickly looking at the scores on my phone, on the timings on my phone, I reckon that is probably the other 2. So fourth, we then got, so that's car 30, we then got Jim and then Will Webster as well. I can't remember their car numbers following behind that. And that would be, again, for complete 150 mileage. Yep, so Will Webster, car 23, and I think Jim's car 56, I think. Yeah, just had that confirmed in my ear, so that's the 56. So car 30, Bennett and Dave is probably going to be our physical fourth, unless they have an issue out on course. And they are also not in that elite 200 yet, but the other 2 following on behind to do the 150 mileage, which will be on their last, so they're on their last lap to complete the 150. They can go on to do their 200. So we're just looking for car 30, so maybe we'll see if our drones can spot it before we can. Yeah, I mean, we've got some people who put in some very quick laps. So looking at the live time in car 30, which is the one we're looking out for, they did some blistering laps. Some of them were sub half an hour, 24 minutes. So yeah, as always, just make sure if you're watching, do comment, tell us who you're rooting for. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. So I think the course is closing 3:30. So that's where we were looking earlier at tactics with Jim Bub in car 7. Whether he reckons if he's doing a 30-minute lap, whether he actually has enough time to do that mileage before the course closes. So depending on where they started, it could actually be 3 o'clock for them. I think last car off the line was about half past, so that's what makes it 3:30. I cannot remember where they started, so we have a car entering down here. It's obviously been collecting some punches because I didn't see them enter that section. So we've still got cars literally just trying to put in the laps just to get themselves up the leaderboard a bit more than other people who might have retired and did more laps yesterday. We've had people who broke early yesterday, managed to repair the car overnight. They're now out today trying to put in some laps, trying to get some solid mileage underneath their belt just to improve their scoring. So yeah, final results and prize giving is at 4:30. So we will have any penalties will then be appended after everybody is finished, and then we can work out who. And they get a nice cheer down there from some of the marshals and the media down there. So the photographers. Yep, so I think that's car 23. Thank you for that shout out for Will Webster. Yeah, they're looking very strong. So I think they are. I'm pretty sure. Just as a quick squint at the timings, they are on their last lap to hit that 150 target. Yeah, we did just see Will come through, and he literally just went straight back out again.
I think you see, show me Coach Garner glasses.
So I think we've got the drone showing a recovery from part of the site we've got quite a few cars coming into. So that's just up from the finish. So that's actually quite close to the end of the lap. So it'd be gutted to be recovered from there. Okay, so this is Jim Bub's car, number 7. So he's now on, I think, I'll have to look at the timing, but he's now trying to do his 200 mileage. I think he has 4 laps to do. So after this one, it'll be 3 laps. So he's just blasted this lap without doing any of the punches just to see what time he could get. So it'll be interesting to see what time he clocks in and see if he'll make that before. I'm guessing it's just after 3 that his cut-off time will be, because I think he started fairly early. So we're just watching car number 7 cross the line here. It's Sterling Works. These guys were, I think, our physical second. So they did a 31 minutes lap. So I think they probably got held in traffic a little bit. They said they weren't going to do any punches, so maybe they did some punches. They stopped down there. Yeah, they've done some punches, right. So they've stopped down there where the guys collect the punches. Yeah, okay, so I think we've got car 30 coming in the side-by-side. So that's our first side-by-side over the line on the 150.
Yeah.
So the
one left in the running, is it?
we've got 2 more. We've got 2 more on their penultimate lap. So we've got Jim, and then we've also got Will Webster as well.
Yes.
Sorry.
Will Webster.
So just talking to Ed down here, who's going to be waving the flag for these guys. Sterling effort here. So these guys have not done a 150 before, so they will not be able to go on and try for that 200 mileage that some of the others are now pushing for. So that was a 40-minute lap. So they're obviously doing punches as well. So we've got our drones in the air. We've got the recovery going on that you can see at the top of the site, just as we watch our kind of physical 4th 150 finisher drive down into the pits. Yeah, apologies. Maybe you hear a bit of the wind on the audio. It is got incredibly windy up here. So we got basically some footage on a drone coming for you from the centre of the site. Looks like some guys are winching. We were down there yesterday. We gave you live from that centre of the site yesterday, and it was incredibly gloopy down there. So I think we've got 4 cars just coming down into the last parts of the course now. These could be our other 150 finishers. So we've got Will Webster and Jim Marsden coming, I think, on their last lap out at the moment. So we've got everybody out across the course. Hopefully you're enjoying the footage from our other cameras. So we've got the drone following the cars as they go down into the woods, which is the kind of last punch area. It'll be interesting to see if they actually bother with any punches in there. Look, I think I can see Kirkby signs in there. They've been doing some good laps this afternoon. Not quite sure what they're on. Yeah, a good number of cars now about to arrive here at the start. So we've got a camera down in that last sort of winchy area before the finish, and we can see that our cameraman is just getting covered in mud. crossing the line, followed by, I think, Signs. So I think that's Paul Rowland's car there. The Can-Am Maverick looks like he might have lost front drive. So he's struggling with this hill up to here. So I think I just heard on my radio that is Jim that we're looking at down in just coming through at the gate, if I can follow him with the camera. No, that's not Jim there. I think he might be down getting a punch. We've got lots of cars finishing. Unsure of the numbers, unsure of the laps at the moment, but you can follow along at home. And it is incredibly windy. Hopefully you can hear my audio. So that's car 41. Matthew and Daniels. Yeah, so Paul Rowland's there just in the background of my shot. I can see is heading back to the pits. So I do think they had a problem. They were really struggling to get up this hill. Not had a best weekend for them. That's been a sump killer, that rock out ledge that we just seen. Right, now this is Jim now entering this area here. So he is, I think, the lap finishing 150. So we should see a checkered flag for him. And then behind him off the line was, I think, Will Webster will also be. So I'm just counting back. I think he is our physical fifth at the moment. So I would imagine that Jim here will be going straight out to try and bag. I think he's got 3 more laps if he wants to go for that 200. And that's the checkered flag. So that's him completed his 150 mileage. I'm pretty sure he'll be going straight back out. So who have we got here? I think this is car 14 that we've got here. No, this can't be. I think this might not be car 14. I think I might have misread that number. That is a strategic bit of mud right where the number is. I honestly can't tell you what the number is. Nicely done. So I think our next finisher would be car number 23, I think, on the 150 distance. Has been such a cracking event. The weather has made it incredibly interesting. Yesterday, it went from being very drivable to very, very slippery. Co-pilots really had their work cut out yesterday. Lots of carnage. Hello, everyone. As the drone pans around me on the finish line, it just doesn't understand how windy it is out here now this afternoon. And we've still got lots of cars. We've got lots of cars still out on course, just trying to put in their laps. So 3:30 is the last time the last cars can be out on course, but it will basically start. People have to start coming in from 3 o'clock. So if they started off the line at 8:30, then they will need to be in by 3. Oh, Mr. Gear, looks like that's in 3-wheel drive. So it looks like they've possibly done a half shaft. So that's car 33. Teslan and Saunders, I believe, if I can pronounce that correctly. So that might have been at their 8th lap completed, I think, which is an amazing achievement, really. Really good. So I'm just hearing, I think we've got car 14, Dickey and Halliday, which are down in the winch section. They have a fairly white truck, so it's quite easy to spot. So we're watching from the drone, car 14 coming into the last section. They've been doing some good work. I'll have to see if I can get the number of laps they're on. They've got to be up there, though. I've seen them out a lot this weekend. And we've got car 51 at the start going back out. Yeah, it is incredibly windy out here. I keep saying that, but it is. We're even having to hold the tent down that's covering all our kit at the moment to give you this live broadcast, and covers the media team that don't actually make it out from undercover. So that was watching there across the finish line, Dickie and Halliday. So I think, as I said earlier, we just double check the laps. I think that was their 12th lap there. So I think they have 2 more to do potentially to do the 150. So they're in with a good shout of doing the 150. So they've been doing some solid laps, under 40-minute laps. They've been completing. We can probably see some of the photographers, our great photographers, are out here getting our still images on the drone, just giving them a wave. Yeah, there's a huge amount that goes into putting an event on like this. So, thanks to all the marshals, caterers, the organisation. I mean, it is just windy, cold out there. If you're a marshal sat out, there are some very, very exposed parts of this site. And that wind is quite biting today. And obviously, thank you to our sponsors, Terra Firma. We're the main event sponsor. So we've had Ed, who is from Terra Firma, waving the checkered flag this afternoon that you've seen on the live. And we have another couple of cars. Looks like they're coming down into the finish. One of those potentially could be Will Webster, car 23. It's a bit hard to tell from this distance. So we've got some of our mobile cameras that are showing you from action from around the site as well. Yeah, thank you for your comments. Keep them coming. And we're just displaying the Welsh Rally's website, so you can also check on your teams and see how they're doing. So unless I'm mistaken, that could be car 45, the Pembrokeshire Mudslingers. We get a lot of shout outs for them. So, and then I'm just hearing that car 23, I think it was car 23 that I can see out on the course. They're just coming in. So I think they will be our physical sixth. So that's car 23 just there, Will Webster. So this is coming in for his lap, I believe, to do his 150 mileage as we watch, I think, car 45 of the Pembrokeshire Mudslingers. And into the checker flag. So that is our physical sixth, I think. So we looks like we've got some absolute carnage going on. Coming through on our mobile cameras. Unable to see at the moment on my mobile who we would have next finishing. the 150 mileage. And I think Will Webster has just gone back down into the pits. So that would potentially mean that he's not going to go for his 200k. So just been checking with timing. Well, it looks like that's kind of it for the 150 finishes at the moment. We will definitely have some more making that 150 mileage today, but that will be a little bit of time before we see them here at the finish. There's nobody out currently on their penultimate lap, so they've probably just headed out. So we're looking at a 30-minute lap, so we're probably looking at about 30 minutes for them to be back here with us. So we've got a car down there at the finish. That's the car that unfortunately have ended their day, I'm pretty sure, by busting their sump on a rock close to the finish. From the drone footage, you could get a good idea of the scale of the site. Right, so I think we're going to leave it there. We've still got lots of cars out on site. We've seen some 150 finishes. We still have cars pushing to do the 200. Potentially that we could see someone do the 200. We've probably got the best place for that person for that would be Mark Dean and his car. So, but they still have, I think, 2 laps to go to do that, and then we've now got Jim out as well, trying to do that as well. So let's just check. Right, so thank you very much. We're going to wrap it there for the 150 from everybody here at the media team down at base, holding on to the tent, our drone pilots, people out in the field, people who are out still on course somewhere. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support, and see you again next year.
One fifty, tactical off-road racing.